Hey there, this is a review of the terrain I used for my last episode that I ran, session I ran for my Castles and Crusades campaign, session 26. So we started off with this board here, and this is made up of primarily Hagglethorn Hollow pieces, the buildings. They're from Troubadour Games. Johnny Fraser Allen is a creator. This is from the original Kickstarter, not the printable scenery Kickstarter. So these are all resin pieces. Get mixed in here. This was a zombie attack, so we got a lot of different miniatures in here. We got some mostly Reaper miniatures. I think the zombies are Mantic Games, WizKids wagon cart, but because I don't have any really good wagons, so I used that one. 3D printed trees. These are old. I don't remember where I got them from. I just put flock on them. Real good trees though. They got a little face in them if you want to get kind of Feywildish with them if you want to. I have some more that I actually haven't put flock on yet, but at some point probably will. They're good because I move them around, which happened actually in the next section of the terrain. But yeah, these are really cool buildings. I don't get to use them as much as I should. I have a pretty good collection of them because I went nuts with the for the Kickstarter because it was actually really well priced. Um, for what you got. It was really good. So I have like 2 full sets of Hagglethorn Hollow. Um, one of these days I will do a game entirely based around a town. I don't know if it'll be called Hagglethorn Hollow, but it will definitely be built out of Hagglethorn Hollow pieces. And it'll be a different style game than I typically run. Maybe a bit more on the Feywildish type thing. I'm not sure, but it's really cool. I like the buildings. They're very modular, very different. They were styled after Labyrinth and stuff. If you watch those movies, that was a lot of inspiration for these buildings. So yeah, they're really cool. So moving on here, this I just used a mat that I had down on the table anyway. That is a Monster Fight Club mat, neoprene mat, 2-sided. Let's see, flip it over, you get like a dirt side. Really nice mat. They make good stuff. Actually, for this, I had the 2 trees. I had moved them over here too, just to make things easy. This is a barn I made. So we got some Warlock tiles with the full height walls, which is the ones I prefer. And I got a Tabletop World outhouse. Neat little building there. I painted that up. Actually, that was the last building the last thing I painted for 2020. So I thought an outhouse was very fitting for that year. More Hagglethorn Hollow stuff. This stuff is, I don't remember what they call them. They're like garden beds. These actually came out in the printable scenery Kickstarter. These weren't part of the original, so I picked these up. I want to say this pig pen is also part of that printable scenery. The pig is not. That's from Reaper Miniatures. I'm pretty sure that is also from the Hagglethorn Hollow Kickstarter. I have a cow one too, but I haven't painted it yet. Hay piles, also Tabletop World, painted those up. They were part of a Kickstarter because they had a barn, which I have painted. It just didn't fit what I needed for this game. These pieces are resin pieces, and I want to say they're from Galadoria Games, but I could be wrong, along with the tents. The miniatures are cultists from, I want to say, Mantic Games. I bought a box of these and painted them, and there's a ton of them. I don't even think I've assembled them all, and I have a bunch of them. So, WizKids, that worked pretty good. This is actually wagons from Reaper Miniatures that I painted. Wood piles are also WizKids. In here, same thing over here, more garden beds, all painted up, more hay piles. In here, shadow, the upper level, this is a Dwarven Forge piece from Dungeons of Doom, more hay piles. This bed, one of my players gave me that, and it's a 3D print. I don't know where he got it from, but you can find them on Etsy. These pieces here, again, I think these are either, no, that's probably Galadoria Games. There's 2 in there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Galadoria Games. It's not Dwarven Forge. I have some other stuff that's similar to it that's Dwarven Forge, but that's not it. Yeah, so this is all, like I said, the full height walls. Whoops. In here, get some zombie miniatures again from Manic Games. That's another box that they have, and there's a ton of them in the box. Again, I've painted a bunch, and I still have some left over. This Scarecrow is one I painted up. This is a Reaper miniature. Pretty cool, fitting for the holiday season. Again, Warlock tiles, full height walls. The doors are actually Dwarven Forge. I used those. These were to represent barn stalls. So yeah, that's the terrain in a nutshell. Oh, I've talked about this board underneath here. Just foam core that I carved all those bricks into because I wanted to have a bout of madness and carved 1,000,000 bricks into that board. But that works pretty well. It did damage, like weaken the strength of that board. So like I wouldn't pick that board up with all those pieces on, because these are all resin pieces, so they're pretty heavy. So I'm waiting one day for that board to snap in half when I misjudge how much weight I have on top of it. But I know better than to pick it up with all that stuff on it. So, but yeah, that's what we used. Kind of a simple setup. The board, I like the board, the City Streets, we filled that up. It's really cool. That was a fun encounter. Had some friendly fire going on, mostly because I misread didn't fully understand the rules for it, but it made a very dynamic combat. We had some innocent civilians in there, citizens, and that mixed it up really well. So the wizard of the party couldn't just drop fireball on all the zombies and call it a day, because he had to worry about hitting friendlies. So it made a very much more tension-filled combat. I think we had some civilians go down and have to be rescued. It was really good. Over here, pretty simple. I could have put more trees out and stuff. I just chose not to. I took those two that are on this board, put them in the front to show where they were entering the farm area, and it actually hid these two guys here that did the ambush. There'd be a little bit of that in the session recap video, but this is just about the terrain. But I went simple with this, just because it was kind of last minute. I prepped the terrain the night before, and I may have actually built this the morning before everybody got here. I think I did, actually. This stuff I built the night before because it takes a little bit longer to put it all together and make it fit right. But it worked pretty good. Like the barn was pretty good. This was a really tense fight, which if you watch the recap video, I'll get into detail on. But it worked pretty well. I like the full height Warlock tiles. I actually don't really care for the half height ones as much because you can't stack them like I had these stacked. And you could build however many of these sets you got. You could build, a multi-story building with them, stack one on another, and have them, go through, have your players go through it level by level. You can't really do that as well with the half height walls. I have two sets of those that I bought early on when they first came out. And then they started releasing the full height walls, and I much prefer those because they also fit with my a lot of my Dwarven Forge stuff. I've used these in conjunction with some Dwarven Forge just to make like stone rooms, basements, and stuff like that. So they work really well if you're looking to do stuff like that. I just think I personally think the full height walls look better, and that may not mean anything to most people, but to me it does. And I think usability, I think they're better because I can stack them and make levels easier than I can. And some people complain about, I hear a lot of people, or a fair amount of people online complain about full height walls because your players or whatever lose line of sight or whatever. Stand up, like get up, look. Like I think that's a non-argument for the most part. I've never heard any of my players in the time that I've been using Dwarven Forge or Warlock tiles or anybody complain. I can't see because if they can't see, they get up so they can see. Not a big deal. And I think it's a better product. But yeah, if you have any questions about this stuff, please let me know. And thanks for watching. Appreciate it.